When Katie first got sick, she just, you know, probably a year and a half ago, she ended up with H1N1, turned into pneumonia, and she just never got better after that. Other illnesses soon followed. She wound up with lots of mosquito bites. A couple weeks later, she wound up with chicken pox, even though she'd been vaccinated. And then around July 4th weekend of 2010, she got sick. We just thought it was a cold, didn't think anything of it. And then on July 6th, she started complaining of neck pain. We thought, because she was an active swimmer, she was on a swim team, very good at what she did. We just thought, okay, she pulled some muscles because she'd been sick. By that Friday, she just continued to get worse. Took her to our family doctor. He agreed something was wrong, maybe a mild case of encephalitis, but he thought because it had already been 5 weeks since the chicken pox, wasn't certain. Ordered MRI of the head and neck. So for a month following the July 9th doctor's visit, she continued to get worse. Neck pain got worse, headaches got worse. Headaches, nothing. We tried all kinds of medicines. Finally, our family doctor said, we're going to send you to a neurologist. We went to a neurologist. It was misread, said that she had 2 bulging discs with nerve impingement. Went to physical therapy. She just continued to get worse. Finally, the physical therapist said, no, something else is wrong. We thought maybe a disc had herniated or ruptured. So after several months of back and forth to the doctor, to the point that Katie was, the headaches were so bad, she was to the point where she couldn't walk. We'd had to carry her up the stairs. We ended up getting an appointment with a neurosurgeon. Our doctor said, something's not right. We saw him on the 1st. He didn't believe anything was wrong with her neck. He said her neck looked fine. Reordered more MRIs just to be certain. November, another EMG. She'd had a couple of those done. They were normal. On November 2nd, she wound up in the emergency room. Her entire right arm was paralyzed. She could barely raise it. She couldn't grab anything. They actually did some blood work, tested for mono, West Nile, Lyme disease. We saw a Lyme disease specialist. We saw a pediatric neurologist. Nope, not Lyme disease. Nope, it's not this. It's not that. I don't know. You have chronic daily headaches. I know of a good pediatric psychologist you can see. And our family doctor even said maybe Katie needs counseling. Not once, but twice. And I looked at him and I said, you know me. I've worked in an ER for 12 years. I know my medical stuff. Something's wrong with my daughter. Fix her. So after wheelchairs and canes, and I finally found a doctor who retested her for Lyme disease. It came back positive, so we had 2 positives, 2 negatives. After having, I want to say, 2 MRIs of the neck, and the second one, I think was with and without contrast, nothing was wrong with her neck. So for 4 months, we went through all this thinking her neck was, herniated, ruptured, or bulging, whatever. Nothing was wrong with her neck. So lots of doctor's office, lots of physical therapy for unnecessary things. She went and had a lumbar puncture. She had a head CT, full spinal CT with and without contrast. Everything affected her. She couldn't remember things. She couldn't, she just couldn't function in life. And we went to the eye doctor. We went to the dentist. We went everywhere to rule out anything possible that she could have had. And everything was healthy, other than that Lyme disease. The lumbar puncture finally came back. It was negative for Lyme disease. We got up to Mayo, and like Katie said, we're scheduled for an hour and a half, but like within a half hour, he came back and he says she has autonomic dysfunction. And I'm like, what? She goes, she has POTS. And I'm like, POTS? And he starts rattling off this postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and in all honesty, I didn't want to believe him. After 9 months of being told this and told that and sent here and sent there, I thought, how could it be that simple of an answer? How could it be we waited this long, we've been tossed around like rag dolls to be told this is what's wrong with her? So he brought in the pamphlet. We started giggling and he goes, we started going, do you have this, do you have this, do you have this? Well, not everybody has all the symptoms, but she had every symptom but one. Her main goal was to get back on swim team because she had to quit last year. She got back on swim team. The nice thing is that her coach was one of her teachers. so he understood. They knew what was going on. We're from a small community. Actually, the last quarter, after getting those 2 C's, she was back up to all A's. She still has daily headaches. She still has daily pain. She still has chronic fatigue. But seeing her now, she just looks like your average, normal, everyday child compared to what she was. I mean, compared to what she was, pushing her in a wheelchair, watching her walk with a cane, knowing that she couldn't even write with her hand because she was in so much pain and she couldn't move it. I'm a lot more relieved, with, the fact that I've had several children up here, and one of them, we're up here because of his checkups. Going through Andrew's cancer, going through Katie's POTS. I've deserved every gray hair I have on my head. It's, I don't know. This has just been the place, and I would not take anybody in my family anywhere else but here, because they've always had the answers. They've always fixed the problem, and I'm happy. I don't care. I just don't care anymore. So, seeing what we've had to deal with in other hospitals and other towns and other doctors and everything we've gone through. It's kind of like Katie said, for once she came up here and nobody told her she was crazy. Nobody told her it was in her head. Nobody disbelieved her. They knew there was something wrong. And, it was simple.